Vegas to Japan, different hemisphere hotties from Greece to Thailand. Being on safari in the motherland. A rice in Indochina with a crew of Asian fans. I told you keep the block cause the world is mine. Hit the currency exchange, it's Euro time. Monte Carlo casino, spending dime. Fast cars to Autobahn, Berlin is mine. Catch me in Paris, but not in the Hilton. 5-star hotels, 6-star pimpin'. Now I'm in Brazil and I'm bicycle dipping. South American queens, big boss living. Different places, brand new faces. Got more locations than military bases. I've been caught my dreams, so ain't no more chase. Stamp my passport, next destination.
Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. The next stop, the whole wild. Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. The next stop, the whole wild world.
This journey up in Richmond County.
Tell me right. Welcome to a very special Shut Up and Talk TV. I'm LB Johnson.
I'm Doug.
And I'm trying to figure out if I'm still gonna be black if I don't vote for Joe Biden.
Question. Now, this is not our normal show. If you watch us every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we normally, we got the jokes, we have a little fun, but we always talk about hot topics. And the most important topic right now, of course, is everything going on involved regarding police brutality and the murdering of George Floyd. So we decided to do a very special show, and this is a town hall style show. With that being said, we've invited some guests, so I'm gonna start to the camera's left. And just introduce yourself, and if you have a title, let them know who you are.
John Allen, community member.
Sherika Cresser, licensed therapist.
Richard Johnson, pastor of Living Water Miracle Center.
I'm Devon Fleming. I'm part of the board of the African American Performer Not Center.
Doug Johnson.
You already introduced.
Patrick Barrett, family member of Secopa Men's Leadership Exchange.
Arthur Bell, local activist.
Jamari Beatty, owner of Just Doing Business LLC.
Dog.
We've invited everybody that you just had a chance to meet here because we want to have an open discussion. We want to talk about what's going on in our community, and we want to get a feel for it. Everybody here now, we do not represent the entire community. We just represent community members. Everybody here, I believe, has a special kind of skill, if you will, including the therapist, that I'm definitely probably going to need some of that later on another note. But tonight we're here to talk about police brutality, police corruption, excessive force, and the murdering and death of George Floyd and so many countless other black individuals. Also, we're going to talk about Black Lives Matter. What does that mean to us? What's the difference between Black Lives Matter and these folks that are just causing havoc throughout the communities in the name of Black Lives Matter? We got a lot to talk about. We are black, so we probably won't agree on everything. There might be some disagreements, but when it's all said and done, we're all here for a common cause, and hopefully we'll get some answers and some plans for this community. With that being said, let's start off with, I just want to go around the room and kind of, everybody, how are you feeling with everything going on with George Floyd being murdered, with Ahmaud Arbery being murdered, with Breonna Taylor? These are brand new, within just happened recently. It's been 8 days now of unrest as far as riots in Washington and New York and LA. And I just kind of want to get everybody's kind of take as you turn on the news, as you're kind of going about your day. And what I did mention is all this has happened during a pandemic. You'll notice nobody here has a mask on. We don't feel sick.
Except for the one over there with the
By
mask.
the end of this show, I'm sure hers be off. But I'll be honest, and I'll speak for me alone. I didn't wear a mask because I don't feel sick. I don't have a temperature. I feel comfortable being around my brothers and sisters without one. I do not knock them if they chose. I don't knock it if they choose to have one. We do have lukewarm water. So if we do have it, hopefully it'll kill it. So just let's go around. Just tell us how y'all feeling.
Angry. As from law enforcement perspective, we have work to do. Not only to work with the community, but coming from to speak for a lot of law enforcement officers, training, it comes down to training and actually being able just to talk to people. We don't have to be so authoritative all the time, be level-headed, be able to speak to people, be able to solve problems, be a solution.
I have mixed emotions, cried sometimes, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, anxious. I have black brothers, I have black nephews, I have black friends, and so I'm very frustrated at how some of this is transpiring and how it's affecting the black community, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's going to change anything. So I'm having mixed emotions.
I think as for me, I would say probably angry But I believe mine is the anger that I have is more in the area of righteous anger, more of tired of seeing what's going on and what's happened in the past. And I think I'm excited because I want to see what we're going to do now in the future. So those are the emotions that I'm going through right now because I'm more about the solution than focusing on the problem.
I have mixed emotions. Like, I literally had a moment yesterday where I literally text every African American man in my phone and I told them my heart cries out for you because I'm worried about you and I fear for your safety. And I should never feel that way. I should always want to just lift my brothers up and show this genuine love and not just a fear of love because of what I don't know is coming for them. And as an African American woman, I support every single black man out there. I grew up in a household with a black father and grandfather, so to see everything that's happening to them, it hurts me. And then me coming from the South, I grew up in South Georgia, as South as you can get, and I've experienced every piece of racism that you could ever experience, even in school. I also came from the hometown of Ahmaud Arbery. I grew up there. I went to high school with the guy who shot him. I graduated with him. But yet my heart still goes out to every single person out there because it's not right.
For me, pissed, inspired, and scared. Every time I see on the news about another black man being killed, I put myself in that position. Automatically, I'm like, that could have been me. Every time I'm pulled over, every time I'm out and about, it's like you literally, it's sad, but you can't even really have fun nowadays outside of your house without worried about them. Is this going to lead to the police showing up? And when they do show up, am I going to say the wrong thing that's going to result in, bad actions? So that has me very scared. I'm inspired because, like John said, we got work to do. And I'm inspired because I'm in a place where I'm ready to do some work. Other than that, just pissed, man. You watch it every day. I understand. I say it so much when it comes to these rioters and everything. I understand why folks is mad. I understand why folks is breaking stuff. I told somebody on social media, they're like, why are they breaking stuff? Why are they looting, catching some fire? It ain't for a reason. We just pissed. We mad. All right? We tried the easy approach. We tried what was, we tried to be nice and peaceful. Y'all didn't want to listen. So now we just don't give a damn. We're doing whatever. So it is what it is.
For me, it's more of a fear of having a adult son who drives to work and school every day, straight A student in college, but I have to worry about him because he's in California and I'm in New Mexico. So I can't be there to guide my son every day, but I got faith in the way that I had to train him. It's sad that I had to train my son in how to speak to an officer and how to keep your hands where they can see him and what to say and just how to do it, but I did do that training because it's necessary. So that takes a little bit down, but it's still fear as a father. You know what I'm saying? That's probably my biggest issue right now. And we'll speak later on the rest, but.
As a black father, I think I have mixed emotions, right? Just knowing that our kids, we're gonna have to raise our kids in this really racial polarized world. So I have mixed feelings, so we can jump back into it a little later.
Me personally, I feel mentally, physically, emotionally drained. I'm just tired. Like, there's no way to explain what it really feels like being black in America. Like, I don't have to say I know how they feel because I know exactly how his family feels. Like, when I see somebody murdered, I know they're murdered. And the feeling is the same every time. Like, it's just an emotion that you can't change.
Now open, New Mexico's premier sports bar, Stadium 66. Cheer for your favorite teams on the largest state-of-the-art TV screens. Tackle the amazing appetizers, and then take on the rest of the menu. Now, for the first time ever, watch your team, bet your team. Stadium 66, your place for beer, bites, and bets. Located in the Route 66 Casino Hotel, I-40, exit 140.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits, not just a job, at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Are you looking to develop your skills this season? Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady Sports Performance Center provides comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
I feel it's sad to say, but it's because it's happened so often, and every year we have numerous hashtags of black men being killed. It's sad to say. It's almost like there goes another one. I've almost trained my heart to almost feel like it's normal, and that's not right. And I guess you could say that's why I'm here. It makes me angry, and I'm ready to come up with some solutions rather than dwelling on the problem, because it's not right. Our black men are getting killed unarmed and for no reason. It's there goes another one, but I think something needs to be done about it.
As angry as I am about everything that's going on, I am hopefully optimistic. There are a lot of people doing things that they shouldn't do, but a lot of people have protested intelligently, and I think that's the thing that's not being brought to the forefront. We have to fight ignorance with intelligence. You can't fight hate with hate. You can't fight ignorance with ignorance. We have to do better, and a lot of our people are showing that we are doing better. And so because of that, as worried as I am for my adult children, I'm hopelessly optimistic right now.
I spoke to a activist and a rally organizer, and also she's part of the Black Lives Matter. And I was talking to her, and we were talking about a rally that she was planning on putting together. And I was talking to her about make sure it's peaceful, and on those lines. And she literally basically just said to me, like, F that. Why do we got to be peaceful? LB, we're always peaceful. We're always the ones, calming down. We're always the ones trying to make everybody else feel comfortable in their skin around us. Why, for once, can't everybody try to make us feel comfortable? And I understood it. I heard where she was coming from, and I didn't rebuttal. I didn't try to come back with any, answers. So my question to everybody, and feel free at any time. Don't think you guys got to answer all these questions, but if you got an answer, throw your hand up so we can get you. But what do you think about the people that say, damn this peaceful talk, I want to hoorah, I want to riot, I want to loot?
I think most people were saying that haven't been through it before. Some of us were around, we lived in California after the Rodney King riots. Yeah. And there are small black-owned businesses, people who did nothing wrong in communities that never recovered economically from these things. So I understand being angry, but anger has to be placed in the right place. You can't just take it out on anybody. I can't just get mad and say I'm attacking everybody sitting here because everybody sitting here didn't do anything to me. I think we have to be more constructive with our anger and direct it in the right places. And it's still just, and I may lose my black card for this, I hate that we always riot and tear up our own neighborhoods and tear up our own stuff. And then we have to live with everything being tore up where we live at. That makes no sense to me. We got to do better.
That was the one thing, and I want to pass that question, but that was the one thing that bothered me in Albuquerque, and I didn't understand, was the first protest that took place was actually in the hood. and it was only a block, and a block of, I was like Wyoming to Louisiana. And nothing against the organizer or whatever. I'm sure they had a plan, but to me, I didn't get it. It was like they didn't march to the police department, they didn't march to City Hall, didn't march to not even the neighborhood where police or the governor, the mayor might be living. And to me, I felt like that made it pointless.
It's preaching to the choir, so to speak.
Yeah.
Y'all know what it is, so I'm gonna just tell people who already know.
Speak, Sheriff.
I mean, I 100% agree with you. I had like a heated argument with a friend of mine in the car, actually, pulling up here, and he was talking about, listen, I hope they arrest me, and I'm going to protest now. I'm like, what does that solve? Like, tell me about a protest where violence fixed the problem or resulted in a solution that worked. And I don't know of any. And so it kind of irritated me that his goal was to get arrested. Like, that makes no sense to me. And he's a very intelligent individual, but he's just so angry and so irritated and upset about this whole situation that's his goal. And I'm like, that doesn't help us at all.
Sadly, there's a lot of people, and I've heard this kind of ring through, over social media things. A lot of people think that will prove that they're for the cause.
Right.
If they get arrested, and I think there was a time, maybe in the 70s, that's kind of was the point. 60s, 70s, I wasn't there, but you probably were. But I think, so some people are out to get arrested thinking that will prove that they're down for the cause. Arthur, you had a comment.
Oh, you good? I'll wait till we come back.
Okay. No, you good. It's on you.
Just so we don't cut.
You all good. You got plenty of time. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, the thing about a protest and a riot, they're pretty much the same thing. It's about causing uproar in a sense that the people that aren't focused on what's really going on, we're going to either make them uncomfortable to make them listen, or we're going to make everybody else around them so uncomfortable that they have no choice but to listen. So we're not trying to destroy our own community. And when it comes to the community that I feel like a lot of people talk about, the majority of the people that live in those communities don't actually own those houses. So are we talking about Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and all these other places who actually own the mortgages on these places that we rent? Because it's all about monopoly. We're playing a big game of monopoly as black people, and we don't own anything on the monopoly board.
Wow, I did not think about that. You make a good point. No question right there. I mean, end of the day, even in the hood, it's owned usually by somebody else that don't look like us.
Yeah, it's true. Those resources aren't coming back. It's not filtered back through the community. But also, to get to your point, I don't like this term. I think language is really important. I like to call it an uprising, right? When you talk about what happened in LA, what we do know happened is that a lot of economic development came further down the line, right? So historically, I think that from uprising, we do get certain policies that come out, that spring forth from those uprisings. So.
But what about the other side of that? Let's talk about, again, the riots took place downtown Albuquerque, where we had local businesses. There were 7, I believe, of them total that were damaged. That were, that these are local owners, and I want to say a couple were even black owned. And the one thing, and I mean, we now know, I'm sure anyone, if you've seen the footage, it wasn't us. They didn't look like us. The folks that were rioting and breaking these windows didn't look like us.
And it usually never is.
Exactly. But a lot of the damage, it wasn't like, and this is what I always think about, it's not like they're knocking on doors saying, hey, are you black owned? Okay, we'll leave you alone and go to the next one. It's literally, there is no, they're just going for what they know, and whoever gets it, and then we'll deal with the aftermath. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk about the community. Let's talk about the economics and how riots, looting, how it affects our communities. We'll be right back after this.
Now open, New Mexico's premier sports bar, Stadium 66. Cheer for your favorite teams on the largest state-of-the-art TV screens. Tackle the amazing appetizers, and then take on the rest of the menu. Now, for the first time ever, watch your team, bet your team. Stadium 66, your place for beer, bites, and bets. Located in the Route 66 Casino Hotel, I-40, exit 140.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits and not just a job at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Are you looking to develop your skills this season? Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady Sports Performance Center provides comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
We are back to Shut Up and Talk TV. Before we went to break, we were talking about the riots, the looting, and how that affects the community, how it affects the economics. So I kind of want to get everybody else's kind of thoughts on that. When it comes to Arthur, before we went to break, made a great statement about, when we were saying about, why are we, rioting and looting in our own communities and burning down our own communities. But the reality is they're not our communities because we don't own the houses. We don't own the businesses. It's owned by the banks. It's owned by other folks. So he made a great point. So my question now to everybody is kind of, what about the economic side of things? When it comes to rioting and looting and even just protesting, how is that? How do you think that overall is affecting economics?
There's a very real flip side to what he said, though. Even though we don't own a lot of these properties, they're all insured, and these people all get money. They all get cashed out, and then they take their money and take it somewhere else.
They don't rebuild.
And they don't rebuild our neighborhoods, and they still leave our neighborhoods in chaos. And speaking of neighborhoods, I would like to say I'm very happy that there are this many black people gathered in the park and none of our neighbors have called the police yet. So we might actually make it through this whole show.
They must be protesting downtown.
They got to be.
But I think the one thing that we're not mentioning, or haven't mentioned yet, is that we are in a pandemic. Coronavirus, over 100,000 people have died from the coronavirus. And it's not, I think the mayor said yesterday, I heard them, they were talking, they said we're 2% down from the numbers. So that's not a big, great thing. And I mean, baby steps, whatever. But it's not like there hasn't been a cure. I put up a post jokingly. It was like, so does that mean we ain't worried about the Rona? Like, is it gone? And I know, depending what black household you're in, some will say the whole thing's fake. Corona doesn't exist. Others will say it definitely does, and we're worried about it. But with already dealing with 2 months plus of a lot of folks being off work because of the coronavirus, and then now we have rioting and looting.
A lot of businesses shut down.
Yeah, a lot of businesses that they basically. And the sad thing is, Monday these businesses were supposed to reopen. The governor was reopening downtown as of Monday, and Sunday night they tore it up. Mm-hmm. So all these businesses now could not open and probably won't open for another week or so. So what about that side of it, Pastor Richard?
Yeah, I just want to go back, and you have to understand that my perspective is going to come from the Bible. I can't separate me from God. So that's what my perspective is going to come from. And when I look at when we tear up first of all, I'm real big on language too. Protest can mean uprising. Rioting and looting, now it's a criminal act. Okay? So protest is peaceful. Riot and looting is now criminal. And so I have to look at the language and I say, okay, protest is fine and it's peaceable. But riot and looting means that I'm destroying somebody else's stuff, no matter if the bank owns it or not. That woman with 4 kids don't have a place to go. What if she don't have a check to take her children to the motel or whatever? You know what I mean? What if she didn't have insurance? Because we're in communities that are impoverished, right? So what if she didn't have insurance to where now where's she gonna go next? How's she gonna get a check? The businesses, we gotta look at that side on how other people are gonna be working and feeding their family, even being gone after 2 months. You know, do I care just for the cause or do I care for people?
I think a great example of that is, and I'm gonna shoot it to you, Arthur, is when they ran through the Target, you know, in Minneapolis or whatever. Afterwards, the CEO said, hey, don't worry about all the workers will still get paid. I'll make sure nobody misses a check because they can't work because the Target was destroyed. However, I guarantee not one of those businesses downtown can say that. They can't afford to say, don't worry about it, we're going to pay, you know, Momo's Chicken and Waffles, you know, they don't have the capital to say, I'm going to take care of that. The strip club, I think, will be okay, but the rest, I think, will be hurt.
Can I just interject real quick? But I think the mayor said yesterday that the city was going to cover the costs for the damage, right?
So the windows,
They'll just to board up the windows.
Yeah, they're just to board up.
They're just boarding
up the windows.
The temporary fixes all they're covering.
Also with like pieces of plywood or something.
Yeah.
Pieces
They,
of plywood.
just to be clear, because I made sure, I mean, we're there, and they're not even saying they're going to cover the glass. Just if you need boards,
they'll come
we'll
board
cover
the
that.
windows up
We'll
for
even
you.
come board it up for you.
Yeah.
So it's not. He's not saying, "Hey, we got you." They still got to cover that.
They still got to cover that.
Before we go back to Arthur, I think the real question is the community considered a casualty of war? Because, and it also will go to, do you consider yourself at war right now? And a lot of our young people right now do. So you got to start with how they see it. Now, of course, we're thinking logic. We're older. We've been through stuff, so we're thinking logic.
I'm older than others, but
Yeah, your beard. But we're thinking, you know, we've been through this. We've seen the aftermath of what happens. But the younger generations, they're in their turn. We rioted already. You know what I'm saying? Not all of us, but, you know, whatever. I got some shoes.
What's the
No,
statute of
but,
limitations?
you know what I'm saying? We were angry before. So coaching is what needs to happen right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the gang world and stuff like that, and I know John can agree with me, but it's there's no OGs no more. Teaching our youngsters how to be proper gangsters, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing right now. Our activists are young right now and unexperienced and out of control. So I'm not saying we got to grab them up and control them, try to tell them our way, but it's a coaching, not a preaching that needs to be done.
Speaking of activists, Arthur, I know we keep jumping over you, but go ahead. You good?
You good? No.
No, speak
I mean, at the end of the day, we are at war, and everybody around, you have to pick a side. Like, you're either on our side or you're not. And there are casualties when at war. These businesses are those casualties. So when I speak to those businesses, I say sorry, but at the same time, I appreciate your sacrifice.
It's better for it to be a business than we taking it upon ourselves going eye for eye. It's property, and property can be replaced, but our souls that we're losing can never be replaced. And that's why it's a war.
Hey, Arthur, can I ask you this? I hear that rhetoric that it's us or them, right?
It is.
And it's no middle ground, right?
There is no middle
It's
ground.
not, in war, it's not a middle
But
ground.
again, I think we look at that rhetoric, that's what white folks say, right?
But at the end of the day,
about this or us,
Who
right?
are we up against, though?
Right. I think we're against structures of power, right? Because black folks have some power too, right? So we can't just say it's
the
about
creation
this
of war
system,
politics.
right? So that's the only thing I'm saying is that I hear the rhetoric, right? But I think it's a middle ground because I love what y'all doing, but again, I don't agree with some of the tactics, right?
the thing about tactics are, who do we learn our tactics from? As black people or as people in the United States of America? Hold on, I'm gonna answer it from
Go ahead, brother.
We only inherit the traits of our oppressor. So we have to change our tactics to get the answers that we want. We've been doing it everybody else's way this whole time, and we're in the same place that you were, that you were, that you were, that you were, and we're all different ages. So that didn't work. So as of right now, the tactics aren't in place to do anything. Like he said, we don't have no OGs, and we could care less about tactics. We're gonna try a little bit of y'all, a little bit of theirs, a little bit of this, and a whole lot of ours, and we're gonna see if that works this time. So there is no map, there is no plan to get where we think we need to go because we don't know
What's
where
the
we're
middle
going.
ground?
Let's do this.
There
Let's do
is
this,
no
you guys.
middle
Hold
ground.
on.
There
Let's
is
take a
no
break.
middle
When we come
ground.
back,
Justice
I want to start with that question.
that same question.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, what is the middle ground? More shut up and talk after this.